Product for life.
That's true.
Welcome to Delve Requisite, here on Emergency Bonus. This week brought to you at 8 o'clock by having to reinstall Discord.
That's totally the only reason.
It's most of the reason.
It is most of the reason. Nothing.
I should have gotten coffee. Somebody, why don't, hang on. Somebody do the recap while I get coffee. My bit this week is that I'm getting coffee while you do the recap.
Not it.
Not it.
All right. So what happened last?
Don't let Jason do it though. That's my only stipulation.
Russell.
Jason does things bad and wrong. Don't let him.
So last week there was a dragon. There was a dragon lich.
Also, no terrible, stupid voices like that. That's my second rule.
Too many rules.
Curse, that means it's you.
No, I nose goes.
No. So last time on Delve Requisite Ball Z, we fought the old Invariant Emperor, who was real nasty, and he sent a bunch of his blood monsters after us.
But he also super wanted to die permanently.
Yeah, he super wanted to die permanently, but he wasn't allowed to.
Wasn't gonna happen.
We got into his vault by Brahm finally played the song that he had been carrying for like 1,000 years. We got into the vault that was like a soul vault.
Tried to take a body.
Tried to take a body. Tried to take some orbs. Successfully took a orb.
I didn't like that we took the body.
Yeah.
And wanted to place everything back there.
I believe Walter made a
just
save
him.
that like didn't destroy the whole universe.
Well, yeah,
Didn't
something like
destroy
that.
him.
Yeah, didn't. Yeah. No more
Then we went
curses.
outside to speak to the Dragolich, who was a real sadist, and he wanted the old emperor to suffer for all eternity. And he was like,
Put that
"Yo,
back.
why you can't take my stuff?" And we were like, "Hey, but the suffering isn't over." And then Matt, as in a real punk bitch move, asked Brahm to give a history lesson. To which I promptly made up some shit, and Brahm sang a song that was about the downfall of the Empire, and then we convinced the Emperor to let us leave.
Dragolich.
The Dragolich to let us leave, and the Emperor was doomed.
He was sadness bawling because
Yeah, he
his
was-
empire fallen, and he still exists.
Forever trapped. Unfortunate. Too bad, so sad.
Real Panic at the Disco stuff.
Hey, okay, what a great recap.
I mean, it wasn't, but
You ever? Maybe this is a thing. If any DMs are out there watching who have been doing this for a long time, you can share this moment with me. You know the glee when you have somebody in your party who is a meticulous note taker and a meticulous examiner of the lore, and is deeply vested in unraveling the intricate tapestry that you have woven of like lore and backstory, and then asking somebody else to give you a history check.
not even a history check. It was tell the story of the fall of the Invariant Empire.
Making the person in the party who for sure doesn't know the answer be the one who has to give
Be
you that
lucky
answer.
that I pulled up with that, and Brahm didn't tell the Brahm version of the fall of the Empire, which would have been way
Yeah,
more
maybe-
stupid voices.
Maybe,
and real
maybe some
inaccurate.
of us don't speak in novels, and that's okay. That's okay. We push it forward.
Goodness, that's all right. It was a good cover. You tapped into the essence of what you were going for there,
Exactly.
which was that the dragon wanted to be wooed with tales of how badly he cucked everybody in the Empire.
Like a douchebag. Like a big old
A
douchebag.
real jerk. Okay, so outside of that recap, you guys, larger picture. You guys know that Artanis and his 5 generals, along with Rowan's former friend Malark Har, have in their possession the Red Orb of Dragonkind and a sort of a human test subject that one of the Brotherhood's generals, Pendragon, converted into a living battery to use as a power source to fire the Star Spire in Mithlinde. or in Niveria in Mithlande. You have learned that these star spires are essentially like mass accelerator, like teleporter devices, which are capable of piercing through an arcane storm somewhere like out in the Great Sea that surrounds the ruins of Glower, the primordial fortress that has access to the Chamber of the World Heart. So you know that the Brotherhood's forces have the power source in order to activate the Starspire. You know that they have a dragon orb capable of counteracting the magic of the time stop that has been imposed around that area, which are the two things that they need to get into the World Heart, take it essentially, and what they believe to be bring about utopia, and you guys have learned will bring about the apocalypse. You now have in your possession a ghost lantern, which Walter's patron, Zavarand Moxham, powered up with special necromancy magic, such that it should be capable of firing a star spire. And you now have obtained a black orb of dragonkind. So you now possess the two things that you need to get to the Fortress of Glower. Since we're talking about it a little bit before stream when we started, you guys know that you're kind of in the end game of a 10,000 year long struggle between the Brotherhood of Artanis and your mentors isn't really the right word, but the individuals that you have come to know as the exarchs of the 6 gods who bestowed their power onto mortals in order to prevent the apocalypse. These exarchs were wounded in their original battle with Artanis, such that they are incapable of fully harnessing their divine power to fix what was done. They have been fighting all this time to beat the Brotherhood to the punch, find successors capable of passing this celestial power onto, who can then save the world. That is you guys. Zalzaveth, the Silver Dragon, gave his celestial power, the power of the god of knowledge, Ogma, to Alar. Brahm, Reynard, and Isengrim, exarchs of the trickster goddess Lyra, under duress gave their power to you. Before when they were told that they were supposed to. Rowan, your ancestor, Cori, exarch of the god of Helm, has given her power to you. Walter, you know that your patron exarch, or exarchs, Maka and Mav, are locked inside the time stop somehow, inside Glower. And Osrius, what you were told, what you have learned about yours, is that your patron exarch, who is the blind hermit that you met all those years ago, who you have since learned is named Mog Roth, is rumored to be in the eye of the storm, essentially. The eye of the arcane storm that you guys know you are trying to pierce using a star spire. How and when you are to reach him, you have not come to that or pressed that issue yet, but you know where he is, essentially. Both of you guys know where your exarchs are, and you know that like getting to them on your way to this final confrontation is part of your journey here. You have a shovel that has been equipped with a shard of a dead world heart, which allows you to translocate pretty much anywhere you want, with certain exceptions that like that ability is blocked by powerful enough like counter magics. And I think that is all the sort of relevant information right now of like where you guys stand.
So Walter's gonna like turn over to Rowan once we get back to Pallyland. I'm never gonna remember the name. Lyra.
What the fuck, Matt?
It's a pumpkin cookie.
Oh, I couldn't tell. It just was like.
It's
Fucking pumpkin spice season, baby!
Oh, is it the Little Debbie's ones?
Pumpkin smiley cookies, the single
Yeah.
greatest thing ever invented. I get one box a year. I blew
Eats
it.
them
I blew
all
it
in the
early.
car on the way home.
I blew it early this year because I bought it last week and I've already eaten 3. And this is not going to last me to Halloween.
Yeah, it's not even October.
So Rowan, do we?
You were saying?
Do we have a potion of long rest here in this, so we can quickly get to our next location? Everybody's little beat after that.
Well, so since we're back in Lyra, I don't know where Walter took us to exactly.
Where we left from initially, probably.
Did we leave from like inside the?
I think you're like in
The
like
Temple of Helm.
Were we in the temple?
You were either in the Temple of Helm or like back in the Grand Hall. You're in a main
Yeah.
area.
I would say probably more likely the Grand Hall. Probably would have left the temple after a while. So since we're in the Grand Hall, I'll just I look at Walter and I'm like, we can ask. I don't.
If not,
They
Terra
weren't
Libra
common
might-
here, but we can always.
They got like a bunch of
Terra
they got like a
Libra,
whole bunch of 5-hour energies that we can just shotgun.
Let's go. To,
It's either that or back to Terra Libra. They might have.
We don't have to
something
go
like-
back to Terra Libra. We can just call on the mirror and ask them to put it in the connected bags. I mean, I know we have the shovel that does magic, but like.
But we have
Yeah.
a bag
I mean-
that does different magic, different
Yeah.
easier magic.
Okay. Bonus
I'm
bonus
gonna
question.
walk-
Does anybody want to take a short nap before we move on to our next location?
Do we want to go to the infirmary and find out
Yes.
if they have any long
If
rest
they don't,
potions or
we can
anything?
short rest.
Yes. Rowan will.
Well, I don't necessarily need short rest, but I'll take some healing.
Well, let's just go to the infirmary because there's other healers there, and we'll just ask our questions and get all patched up as best we can here, and then if not, we can call Terra Libra for more help. And Rowan will lead to the infirmary, which she spent plenty of time in.
Alrighty.
Just if we see Indies, great. If not, like if we see anyone we know, like we'll stop. But like otherwise, I'm just beelining.
Okay. You can certainly you head to the you head to like the infirmary. And there you come across the current head of the infirmary, a healer and a paladin by the name of Keely Duskbane. And as you enter in, there are a handful of trainees who are receiving some minor medical attention from a bit of a rough training exercise, as well as you see like towards the back there is a like curtained off area. You see like the foot of the bed, and you can see that like there is somebody in the bed, but it's like privacy curtains have been drawn up. As you guys enter in, Keely Duskbane looks up in your direction, and she like hands off her clipboard to an assistant. She comes over, and she takes a look at. Is anybody like beat to shit from your fight Walter's like on death's doorstep, right?
No. Walter got
Osmond?
healed enough, but
I got a
like-
little bit beat up, so some bruises, probably slight limp.
I'm 49 out of 120.
So like you walk in and it's like she doesn't have to be like, what
101.
can I help you with? You walk in and she's like, oh, you need medical attention. She's like,
we probably have the stink of the Shadow Realm on us too.
Yeah,
So.
Alar finally remembers
She's
he casts Prestidigitation on Brahm to get all that congealed
oh yeah,
blood
you got
stuff off of
necrocore
him.
exploded on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you guys come in and she's like,
You okay? Yeah, it's not my blood.
She goes, by Helm, you've all been beaten 6 ways to the 9 hells. Come in, sit. We'll attend to you. She like snaps her
Keely
finger.
Here before. Was Keely here when I was here?
Yeah, she knows you.
I just smirk like, yeah, same old shit. I sit down. Just kind of like I motion to my friends first, like them first, kind of hand wave, like.
Rowan, sit down. You're gonna get healed with the rest of
I'm
us.
sitting down. Hey, Laura, I'm just making sure everyone gets taken care of. It's my home, essentially. I can do it in whatever order I want.
So she starts looking over you. Several other attendants here in the like infirmary wing start coming over and like tending to injuries, cleaning and wrapping. She like looks over you guys and she says, where are you coming from? What happened that's got you in this condition?
We had an appointment with the Emperor. It's concluded.
My friends are very blunt.
We went to the castle of Ironboria.
We're alive.
If you... She's like, that's fine. If it's top secret, you don't want to tell me. You don't have to tell me.
Really, it's not necessarily top secret. It's... Indesius knows what we're doing, and it is just one of those things where the long or the short version is still very long. So after we handle everything, I'm gonna be happy to come back and talk to everybody here about what the heck has happened. But
while Alar is being treated, he's gonna pull out a scrap of parchment and one of his many ink pens, and he's just going to scribble a brief note to Indesius about Dragon's still there. Maybe not go there unless you're bringing like everybody.
Maybe leave it alone till we get done with this.
Yeah, probably best to leave it alone because it is.
So-
I'm sure we
went
run
back
into
to
him
sleep for
before
now.
goodness.
Rowan, you would, as he's like, I don't know if he's like, you're
He's
watching him
scribbling,
feel
yeah.
this note, but like, piece of information, like, over the last like several centuries, the Order of the Radiant Dawn has launched several crusades attempting to like pierce into the Blighted Peninsula, like with the destination of trying to get to the capital. Like they didn't get anywhere close. Nope. The fact that you guys are able to like blorp there is going to be very interesting to the Grand Marshal.
Yep. I don't stop Alar from.
Yeah, he blows on it to dry it, wraps it up. Something else to add to the list.
As we're all just sitting there and getting tended to, I'm gonna look at the recruits that are just getting their minor patch ups, and I'll look at the one with the curtain pulled. Keely, and I just nod like, as if to say like, what happened over there.
She looks and she shakes her head and she says, the network of repelling amulets is fairly thorough, but it's not foolproof. It's still comes down to patrols to make sure nothing slips out, and she gestures. She says, he'll be fine. He took a few hits, and he's had his strength sapped away. He just needs to rest and recover.
Rowan just nods and just kind of shrugs. Like if Keely says he'll be okay, she's not too wrapped up in it. And I look at her. Do you need help while I'm here?
She says, I mean, you can always busy yourself if you'd like, but if you have somewhere you need to be, she kind of looks, she says, I suppose I should ask, based on the vague musings here, do you, she says, we can stitch you up and fix your wounds. If you need to be, if you need the express route and to get out of here again, I'll get the potion kit out, and we'll pump you full of healing potions.
Rowan just nods and says, yes, please.
She kind of like nods and says, very well. She like snaps at one of her hers, and she says, break out the emergency healing potion reserve. She like kind of like looks at everybody and she goes, we're gonna need to burn through quite a bit of what we have, I think. She says, but Paladin Ambermore says she's on business that the Grand Marshal is aware of, so I'm going to trust that the requisition of these materials will be deemed acceptable.
Rowan looks, when she says Paladin Ambermore, Rowan's whole face went like, it's the first time anyone's called her that since she left.
She looks at you and she arches an eyebrow. She says, are you feeling all right?
You remember what happened last time I was here? You were in the hall when I was walked out.
Yes, I do.
It's just been a while since I've been called one of... She kind of pauses. One of us?
She says, well, word's already spread that you're back in the Grand Marshal's good graces, and if there were any more divine power coming off of you, I would have to invent sunglasses in this universe. So, as far as I'm concerned, you fit the bill.
Thank you, Keely. If you have any specific potions, not only just for healing, but for the sake of a proper rest from my friends that use magic, I don't need one. I think I'll be okay.
So they begin like handing out healing potions. Essentially, consider like you can just chug healing potions until you are fully healed. For the sake of this, when you ask about like potions that like simulate rest, she kind of shakes her head a little bit and she says, "Unfortunately, we don't have anything." Anything that's truly going to substitute a proper rest and recovery. If you're talking the recharging of the arcane powers for drawing upon the weave, I've got nothing like that here.
It's okay.
Wait a minute. I might know somebody.
Do you need a spell scroll?
No, I need the mirror.
Alright,
Hopefully, he wasn't injured, but that man's coffee is magic. And if there's anything that will get somebody back on their feet and their spell slots recharged, it is Stanfield. So we might be going back to Terra Libra, kids, or we might just get a carafe of coffee sent via the bag. So, Alar, wipes the mirror, taps it a couple times. Testing, 1, 2, hello.
Do the collective of the Arcane Eye specifically don't have a joint?
No, they don't have a
Terra
mirror.
Libra.
But
let's see.
You would be getting.
Who's gonna answer?
You'd be getting one of the council.
Walter has like laid on a table and just gone to sleep. So if this takes less than an hour, I'm not taking a short rest. But if it takes about an hour to get everything situated, then he'll be short rested to victory.
And Brom, I'm sorry I stole your bed.
It's borrowed. It's a remix.
Yeah. Thief.
It's all fine.
Sanradar Ket appears on the other end of the other end. He's the you now know him to be the necromancer. He's the head physiker.
The one we
of
definitely figured out immediately.
Yeah.
the other group
Aelora is
figured out.
going.
You guys, the other group figured that out immediately.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Aelora is going to reach into the bag and hold up the orb. Mission accomplished.
Ah.
Rowan leans into the
see.
frame and just waves from the background and then slides back out of frame.
Everyone is unscathed.
We're scathed, but
We
Walter
pretty
opens
beat
one
up.
eye.
As long as you're not all the way scathed,
I
good
need
thing.
to ask 2 favors. The first of which is I need you to send someone to contact the Collective of the Arcane Eyes, Masters Dimios, Copper Kettle, and yeah. Why can I never remember her name?
Otumba,
Namara.
I believe, is her last name. Namara Otumba.
We need the help of their comrade and Major Domo
Yeah, Butler.
Stanfield.
Yeah, Butler.
We need his best freaking coffee. The stuff that he would give his people before a really big event. He'll understand.
I shall.
Stanfield about to cook us some meth.
I shall send the message along. What is the second thing you require?
Could I speak with Lady Viren and Zintris, please?
Yes. Let me send a runner to retrieve them.
One final thing. Bring the connected bag, please, because I believe we'll need that for transferring his goods.
He wants the
good.
coffee delivered via bag.
Please.
Sure.
Unless you have potions
And 2 hard-boiled eggs.
Around, but I assume you guys have consumed them to protect yourselves, which is good.
Potions
Yes.
of long rest is not a thing that I'm aware of.
Rowan's just going off of what they're saying.
Walter invented
so.
it. Walter made it up.
Walter's like, do you
Rowan's
guys have
not
the
an alchemist,
magical
but
equivalent
yeah,
of
sure.
cocaine, please? Because we
okay.
need magic.
Yes,
I had to
it's
Google it
just
because I
called
was
cocaine.
like, I thought when he was like, we need a potion of long rest, I was like, is that a thing I don't know about? And I was like, no, it's not.
Jason
Okay,
brain
so
thing, and Rowan doesn't know better.
Ket goes, very good, yes. Stay by your mirror. I will send runners, and we will contact you back as we return with the things you need.
Thank you.
Cat, how's everything there?
Good job.
He says, yes, I suppose I can bring you up to speed on some of the things we've learned in the day or so since you departed. He says the forces under the direction of Master Sharpclaw have been exceedingly thorough in routing the remaining Imperial forces who were trapped alive inside the city after Artanis fled with what we have begun to call the Void Staff, since we needed a name for it. That situation has been largely dealt with. We are receiving some rather interesting news via Messenger Sparrow and a few other recently reopened lines of connection with some of our operatives who had gone to ground in other parts of Mithlin Day and even the western portions of the Empire's territory. Apparently, after the sudden and violent expulsion of part of their army either here into this city or into the nowhere between realms. The remaining bulk of the Empire's army, which was some several days' march still east of Festenaust, was badly fractured and disorganized. And the rumors, the first reports, are that the Queen's army has fallen upon them from the south. We are hopeful that they are in full disarray and are to be broken. He says, in other news, and you may make of this what you will, good, bad, or otherwise, we have begun to receive staggered reports that there are mountains shifting along the eastern perimeter of the Ujura range. It seems the dwarves are mobilizing for something. Our presumption currently is that they are going to use Florian's term for it when we met earlier today. Our presumption is that they are planning to breach Imperial territory and deliver upon them a dwarven-style whooping.
Oh. That is good news, but that is also...
Says it is unprecedented news, if nothing else.
I know it's exceedingly unlikely, but have they received any intelligence out of Shivas and Varia or nearby places? I know Zelzaveth supposedly did a good deal of damage there before fleeing, but
rumors are making the truth difficult to suss out. We have heard some mutterings that the Emperor was slain during Zalzaveth's escape. We presently believe that to be unlikely. As for other intelligence, all we are sure of for now is that a good deal of the Imperial's governmental and palatial compound was damaged by the Silver Dragon, though most of the civilian portions of the town were left unharmed in any way. We have no other significant news from the city. It's far enough removed from the action that nothing immediately consequential is likely to happen, though it is quite likely that that would be the ultimate destination of a dwarven army should they move into the open. Our assumption for right now is that the Emperor is likely scrambling to salvage what remains of his invasion force and pull them back to attempt to secure his borders. For now, it seems, at the very least, that the Empire's quest to dominate the continent is well and truly broken. And he, kind of breaks into a grin after he, delivers all of this very factually to you. But then after he finishes all the details, he,
Well,
that's
at least there's some good stuff.
that is good news, but what a waste.
It's always a waste.
All right, we'll await your word of when you get messages back from them. Thank you.
Of course. And the mirror goes dark.
Taylor's going to grab another scrap of paper, and he's just going to write out another quick little report. And his intention is to basically toss it in the bag. That's what we found there for the bookkeepers, because he has a shit ton of energy, and he has
Nervous scribblings.
yes.
Okay.
He's either going to fidget or he's going to scribble something.
After a few minutes, while you're waiting for a message back on the mirror, Corey comes into the infirmary. And she comes in and she kind of comes over and she like looks everybody up and down. She like goes over to where Walter is like on the table, and
He's just like dad style power napping.
she like opens an eyeball like this and then just like lets it close. She's like, "Oh, he's not dead. Good."
No, we all made it, thankfully.
She looks over to Osrius as they're like they're essentially, I feel like Osrius is in like you know like how athletes go in like those big ice bathtubs. They've got Oz in one of those, but it's full of like healing potion juice, and his like legs are sticking out at the end. She's like
The bathtub full of red Kool-Aid.
it's a bathtub full of red Kool-Aid that Osrius is in.
Oz is in the back of the tank.
Yeah.
She looks and she goes, what happened in the palace? You I presume were successful. What did you find when you went there?
We got what we needed. The Emperor's corpse still wanders in a unhappy state in that he wishes to be fully dead, but Silarax's lich body and powers will not let him.
Sounds pretty awful.
Walter like kind of like wakes up and leans over. He goes, "Just found out my boss owes that dragon a whole bunch of souls. That's not great to find out."
She's like, nope,
Yeah.
don't love that.
Nope.
Well, if I could say anything about it, not being able to die after you've fulfilled, especially of a warrior's purpose, sounds pretty rotten to me.
She kind of
I agree.
nods. She nods at you.
I look at Corey and I'm just like, I agree.
Also, he was fugly.
She nods to Oz. She goes, in life, Emperor Nossum Silverleaf was a vicious dictator that fancied himself a god king and built his empire on the shattered bodies of those he considered beneath his race. So my sympathy is limited.
That's fair.
But
That's completely fair.
She says, but to be forced into a perpetual state of unlife and torment for all of that time is a truly horrid torment that no one deserves. Were you able to do anything about it?
We tried.
Right.
Oh, we killed him real good once, but then the dragon brought him back.
And we can't take his...
Yeah, we weren't prepared to
Souls.
face a lich dragon.
She nods. She says,
It was everything we could, and Alar points to the orb that he just set on the bed next to him to get that by convincing Silarax that their perfect revenge would end if Artanis succeeded.
says, all right, well, I guess one thing at a time, right? Stop the world from ending, and then maybe we deal with the
Yep.
The immortal undead
Yep.
That is the
dragon.
thought.
And the metric bleak ton of shadows between.
Oh, I'm sure all those
Once we deal with
crystallized
that,
souls in the
it'll-
basement are the shadow problem.
She
Nothing we had was capable of destroying one of those things. I suspect that we're going to need either more powerful magics or knowledge we do not have.
She nods. Just well, at the very least, if and when the time comes, you've learned a very useful trick from Artanis, which is the hundreds of miles of shadow monsters between you and the undead dragon are meaningless if you have the ability to drop your entire army directly on him. And she like finger guns at Walter.
Who taught her finger guns? No one's supposed to be teaching her these things.
Walter's like,
She's like,
yeah,
hey, look, save the world first, and then the paladins here are going to be very interested in you being able to let them skip a whole bunch of nightmare territory in between and fight a dragon.
Phrasing aside, I don't know that I can get the hole that big, but
Gross, but
we'll do our best.
fair enough.
Also, Walter, that pact the dragon has with Moxum wouldn't be in effect if dragon's gone.
Here's Zoidberg.
You've got to be alive
If
for
we
that
get,
pact.
Look, if we can re-dead the dragon,
or if we can take Artanis's void staff and bring the whole army.
it is a problem.
Should
That is a bridge to
probably
cross.
avoid-
5 bridges down.
Yeah,
on
it
the
should
other,
probably
on the other
avoid
interstate.
anything. with
No,
the
I
dragon.
for
fully
after
agree.
this. After
Look,
this, yes,
I'm already
Rowan high fives him from the other bath she's sitting in because they just put her in one.
look, I'm already trying to organize something insanely stupid and that I'm probably going to end up getting involved in after this, presuming I survive. So I understand. Mine's probably like step 7 on this. Step 1, save the world, then other
The
stuff.
rest of our crap, yeah.
Look, we'll figure it out. Right now, I'm just gonna finish this nap. We're gonna go to not the Star Spire. Where are we going next? Where's after this?
You said there was another one in the Iolus Archipelago?
The Sending Cave? Is that what we need? And I look at Corey, wondering if that's correct. Rowan's not.
She looks at you. She's like, I don't know anything about that. I've been in the crystal for like 2,000 years.
I
Hey, that's
think
fair.
it would be worth trying there.
Do you have a way to mind link so that we can get there? Wait, rephrase. DM question. Can I open portals to places I haven't been if I...
You just did get us to Lyra the first time.
Okay, then
I think
if
you're answering your own
if I get
question.
us to Lyra, then I can get us to where Rowan's been before. That's fine.
I could pull a card. Yeah.
You know what?
Just
damn it.
kidding. Just kidding.
Beautiful.
You said that, Corey's like, I'm sorry, what?
Yo, yeah.
Excuse me?
Don't worry about that.
You want to see a
Got his
magic
spell
trick?
wrong. Got his spell wrong. He's okay.
Yeah, you want to see? I do magic tricks on my off time. Don't worry about it.
This is getting too blended.
Oz's magic tricks. He goes, "Here, pick a card." And then he does the card trick, and he goes, "Is this your card?" And then he looks at them with a burning intensity, and then they just go, "Yes."
Is this your card? No. Check.
sure?
Again!
Again.
And they're like,
Are you sure? Are you sure about that?
check again, and like fire like blasts off him.
Are you sure about
Are
that?
you
Buying
sure
odds
you're
and
not
cards.
mistaken?
You sure about that?
It's okay. Take your time.
Time.
Anyway.
There
Are
is
you
a
Squidward?
there is a like tap 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 from the mirror on this like the side table next to you there, Aylar.
Okay, Aylar brings
So,
it up.
like, you open it up. On the other side of the mirror, you see a handful of people have been collected. Stanfield is in the other side of the mirror. Lady Viren is the other side of the mirror. I suppose Rowan can double. You can double character it, Brittany, and be there as well.
Yeah, it's interesting there.
And Mishka Lantia Kalrook has replaced Sandra Arquette, like in the chamber with them.
That's a name.
Mishka Lantia Kalrook, Mishka for short.
Thank God.
Master Cal Rook, thank you, and thank your colleague for making this possible.
Of course, I will, unless you need me for anything, I will not be appearing in the remainder of this scene. As I'm here in the background.
Besides, I'm sending along a note with our findings of our little visit to High Varia. I expect there's going to be a fair amount of swearing after you finish reading it, but you should know what's going on.
She knows, of course.
He throws it in the bag.
You see, like, her reach into the bag on her end, and like she pulls her hand out with the note. She says, "I believe before you dive into a conversation with Lady Viren and her major domo here, Stanfield has a request." And he kind of like steps up. He has like a backpack in his hands, and his yes, good.
Bless you.
Good day. He says, "Here is the thing." He like kind of lifts the flap of the backpack, and you see there's just what appears to be like a chemistry set inside of it. He goes, "I believe I'm capable of producing for you what you require, but it is a rather delicate brew, and it does need to be drunk rather immediately."
Mid-conversation with that, I hear him. I just open a portal to where he is.
He was
like, just lift up the staff.
He goes, "Oh, that delightful." And like for a minute, he's like facing you in the mirror, and then like you're looking at the side of his head as like the portal opens. Like he was, this, and he like walks through the portal. He goes,
I don't know where to look.
He goes, This is significantly more efficient. I was going to try and climb into the bag on this side and have you pull me out. This is much better than what I was hoping for."
No.
Can we also say that Stanfield is the actual MVP of this entire campaign?
Can't wait till he turns out to be the big bad.
Shut up.
Oh yeah.
He's our tennis.
We have to
Don't you
fight
dare.
Stanfield in the final.
We would not stand
Rowan
up.
will not.
Yeah, we would not stand up prayer.
He says, carry on, it shall take me a few moments to, and he like, he begins like opening and like putting this beakers and burners and like decanters and all sorts of stuff.
I imagine that healer is just like probably taking surreptitious notes as well.
Rowan just shrugs at Keely again, like sorry for the.
Yeah, he sets all this up, and then
we
he takes.
just open that big hole in reality to like let this man through mid-phone conversation.
The last thing he takes, you see, he like takes out of his bag as he like he turns to one of the. He says, "My good madam, would you happen to have distilled water?" And she says, "Yes, of course we can." Retrieve that, please. Thank you. Yes, it's quite necessary. And he like turns to you guys and he goes, "The compound is extremely volatile. Even the slightest trace of mineral compound in the water will result in a rather large explosion. Distilled water is quite necessary." And he like takes this like. It's like a tightly wound like in like a waxed cloth bundle. And there's like a big skull and crossbones on it, and he like puts it on the table, and he goes, and he reaches into his backpack, and he takes out like a gas mask, he puts it on. And he goes, he says, "Carry on with your conversation with Lady Viren, and I would ask that no one come within 10 feet of the workstation during this next process."
Is it
Stanfield,
necessary
is this
for
one?
all of us to have
He
masks?
says, "No, just don't come over here." Maybe.
Stanfield, is this
I
why
told
never
you,
let
he's
us
gonna
help with
cook meth.
coffee?
What's that?
Is this what Stanfield? Is this why you never let us help with making coffee?
He says, "No, I never let you help with making coffee because, in general, you're a group of rambunctious, rowdy boys, and I take great pride in my work. In this specific instance, this is sort of a different brew.
Got it.
And this one, I cannot let you help because you would die, probably.
Actually,
Hey,
we're all
everyone.
immortal, except for
That's it.
some of us.
No, I was listening to the recap. You're immortal unless something kills you, which this coffee for sure will if you don't do it right.
Which doesn't sound like being immortal. That sounds like normal.
Sounds like not aging. Specifically.
Alar goes
There's
digging
a
into his coat.
If I may wax philosophical for a moment, there is a difference between immortality and invulnerability.
Anyway,
Thanks.
Anyway, coffee. And he's
Rowan,
Coffee and shit.
are Viren and Zintra's coming through the portal, or are they staying on the
I
mirror?
mean, if they
I
want,
guess they can since it's there. They're like, oh, okay. No, actually,
I feel like Walter, as soon as
Technically,
Scandal
Lady
I
Viren
think
is
they
under
like,
house arrest.
yeah, like
but-
they like look at they like sort of like they exchange a look with Mishka, and Mishka's like, I mean, technically, you're a prisoner. I don't.
Should we just talk through the portal opening and then not bother with it there?
Sure. I figure like Walter would have just like literally opened it enough for like Stanfield to come through and then immediately closed
If he
it.
closed
with
it,
Yeah,
then
you
we
can talk to
close
him.
it.
Yeah,
Zero,
that's
with
fine.
zero
Okay.
sense of consequence to anything else besides that. It's just like
No, let's just.
They'll
that's
talk
fine.
through
I know you-
the Zintris and Viren can talk through the mirror, and Lady Viren says, Master Ket retrieved us and said that you requested my presence. Is there something that you need advisement on?
No, but something that you and Zintris might be able to do. Presuming, of course, we succeed. And Alar pulls out from one of his coat pockets the crown of Nassim Silverleaf. Do you recognize this?
I guess I'll have her make a history check.
I was like, did you successfully steal the crown?
I took his crown and his sword.
I do recall
And
you
I-
saying that.
Yeah, you have
and
that.
we did dump out his dust and
Yep,
sold
I
it.
never said anything about returning those.
Fair.
Yeah.
Walter has like a moment of panic where he's like, yeah. like
She looks at it. She says, "It appears to be a rather well-made diadem or crown, but I can't say that it is of any
Zintris rolled a
particular."
22.
Zintris rolled a
Hold on.
22. Zintris probably recognizes like the design work as like ancient Invarian. The idea of like somebody being like, "That's the crown of Nassim Silverleaf" is crazy. So, but like for sure she can be like, "Well, it's an ancient Invarian crown."
Alar's going to hold up the sword and the crest. This.
That one she probably right. She's like the symbol of the last High Empyrean of the Invarian Empire, I believe. Yes.
I took these off the body of Nassim Silverleaf.
Oh my.
And Alar wraps up the sword, puts the crown in them, shoves them in the bag. I'm giving them to you.
She says, "I see. Is there something that you desire?" She says, "There is there are a great deal of Nosite clerics and paladins that are going to be displeased with the knowledge that Nassim Silverleaf did not ascend to the celestial plane and achieve godhood. Outside of a bit of religious zealotry, I am uncertain what it is that you wish me to do with these."
You told me you joined the Brotherhood of Artanis because you hated what the Ignean Empire and the Invarian Empire before it stood for. You want to do something better, yes?
She says, "Yes."
With these, which people will begin to recognize, your knowledge of the machinations of the Empire, and the fact that we have encountered a good deal of people who do indeed see things within the Empire somewhat similar to how you and I do. And the fact that the Imperial army is in a good deal of disarray, and the current emperor is on much shakier ground, soon to become very shaky if that dwarven army is indeed headed for the border. Might be time for a bit of revolution.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh boy. Ooh. 19.
She arches an eyebrow and thinks for a minute. And she eventually says, I think there is a great deal of road between here and founding plans for a revolution and a new world order, but I see the value in symbols, and I can see your logic as to why these might be powerful. She kind of like looks at his interest a little and says, I don't know in the long run if I am the right person to have given these to, but at the very least, for now, I will care for them, and we shall see where fate takes us when all of this plays out.
Who better than someone who wanted to do good, ended up doing wrong, to understand the danger of power.
Sintress puts the crown on her head.
Just-
Oh no, it was super cursed.
From the back, Walter goes, "If it's any consolation, he's been a puppet with no will to end this mortal coil for the last 1,000-some years. So,
Same.
the entire ascension thing, he's ascended into sadness.
Oh, she
about
she
I
makes a
feel
face at that. She goes, "Oh, Zintrus, take that off. It's been on a dead guy for
Aelor
1,500
did,
years.
prestidigitation it, so it's clean. It's just
Take
very,
that off. It's dirty. You don't know what it's been.
It's
Like-
conceptually filthy. It's not physically filthy.
It's metaphysically gross. You shouldn't put it on."
She shrugs.
Tainted by failure.
Tainted by failure.
Only crown I've ever gotten. Give me a break.
A new band name called it Tainted by Failure.
consider
She
what
says, I will consider.
Thank you. That is all I ask.
And from the side of the room, there is a and you look and like a mushroom cloud comes out of like a pitch black decanter that Stanfield has been like drop by drop like dipping this into. And he takes out how many? There are five of you. He takes out 5 like thimbles, and he like fills these 5 thimbles with like this liquid, and he goes,
I am the one who knocks.
he goes, Jesse.
Jesse!
He hands them to you, and he says, "This is the most potent alchemical coffee that I know the recipe for brewing." He says, "It should restore your vitality to its maximum potential. There is a very real chance that you will be incapable of sleep for several days after consuming this. So take that under advisement. You will potentially suffer dire repercussions if 4 days from now the effects finally wear off and you fall unconscious.
Oh.
Well,
So
considering
mechanically speaking, you guys can drink this liquid and get the benefits of a long rest instantaneously. You, however, will be plagued with 1d4 days of incurable insomnia, which is both a gift and a curse, in which you all will gain the benefits of the elven and half-elven feature that you cannot be magically put to sleep. But you also can't
taking
sleep.
levels of exhaustion.
You don't until the 1d4 days expire, and then you take that many days worth of exhaustion like all at once.
Oh my
Ouch.
god.
hey, we're like
I don't know that I need
like it
these
was
spell
said,
slots this bad.
we are in the end
Yeah, I
game.
don't know if I
So
need
we either succeed in what we're doing, or it doesn't matter anyway.
If we need to sleep for 4 days after this wears off, if we're not done in 4 days, then we
Well,
need to
we just
sleep 4
sleep.
days.
Then we just
waste
sleep then.
time anyway.
So hopefully we can get done what we need to get done in 4 days.
Hey, well, it's a risk. Are we willing to take that risk?
I don't know if I need the spell slots.
Walter's gonna shotgun it.
I was just say Walter has to be stopped from
already
taking
done.
2.
As like so like Walter shotguns it. As any of you guys who are like kind of as you like
We're
hesitate,
gonna wait and see what happens.
as
to
you
it.
as you like hesitate, he goes, you do need to drink it within the next minute. Just
Alar
so we
just
know.
Salutes Stanfield. Down
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'll take it because I've used 2 of my rages, and I don't get them back until a long rest. So
Okay.
Yeah.
it's like we're we don't have time for a long rest. We got stuff to do. Like the option is to roll forward with like fresh resources or not.
yeah.
Master
Yeah.
Stanfield,
Rowan just shrugs
again,
and drinks it.
we are in your debt. If you could pass along a message to Master Demios. I finally figured it out. Took the help of a dragon, but I figured it out.
Brom, you're the only one who says you have not
Oh,
drank
no, I'm
yours yet, right?
After
Okay.
everybody else does it, I'm
So-
like, I
so-
guess.
Everybody drinks theirs.
I
Alar, you
guess.
say this. Brom, so like Alar, to those of you who have like drank the drink, that sentence that you just said to Stanfield like seems normal. Brom, as you have like yet to drink yours, you experience everything. Like Alar's like, Stanfield's like, yes, very very good, sir. Like you were like. It's like when it's like the episode of Futurama where like Fry drinks his like 50th cup of espresso and then he can
He enters the Speed Force.
He enters the Speed Force. For a few seconds, like you drink this and every cell of your body like accelerates as you put the little cup down. You accidentally like the cup hits the table. But, like, the cells of your body are vibrating so quickly for, like, a portion of a second that your hand actually passes through the table. Like, your fingertips pass through the edge of the table. And then everything sort of, like, comes back together. And you're like, whoo!
So you just turned into the Flash. This is great.
Rowan's just sitting there like this, like I
you
miss
all
tea.
gain the benefits
We've committed
of
less crimes.
gain the benefits of a long rest. And everybody roll a d4. And that is how many days worth of magically induced insomnia you have.
Certainly not rolling on
I'm gonna roll it
D&D
on.
Beyond. This will be the one time I roll max.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna
no,
roll
Walter.
the D&D. I'm gonna roll
Four.
the D&D
All right.
Beyond.
3.
Here,
Where the
here
hell
we
are all my
go.
D4s?
What does 4 levels
2.
of exhaustion look like? Hold on.
Death.
It's not no 6 kills you.
Oh god. Come on.
5
Where's my
I
low
believe,
numbers?
at 5 you're like
Low
completely,
numbers, baby.
You're completely. How'd you do?
Hit 4.
4,
3.
3, 2.
Fuck
Okay.
you, D&D Beyond. You piece of shit.
Well, I'm gonna roll on D&D Beyond just see what I get.
I wanted to do it
Out
just
of
So-
morbid
So
curiosity.
Yeah,
four,
that's-
four levels of exhaustion is hit point maximum halved,
I also rolled a 3, so it doesn't matter.
Disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws, speed halved, and disadvantage on ability checks. So it's going to be a very, very tiring and relaxing week to recover from this.
Sounds like a bomb going off in my chest, and I shouldn't get near anybody when that
5.
goes on.
At 5, you get all of that. Plus, your speed becomes 0, so you're just
Great.
incapacitated. And then at 6, you drop dead.
You're just a tired mess while you just stand there being like, yes, hit me, please. Make me go to sleep forever.
Yeah, I crave death. Oh God.
That sounds terrible.
So we ready to go to the island?
Yeah.
let's hurry up.
Stanfield, you want to go to an island instead of going back to
Walter? Please.
All right,
just
go back.
Send him home.
Not particularly. As much as I would delight in the ability to gallivant about an island in my twilight years when I finally retire, I have the sneaking suspicion that any island that you are imminently heading towards is going to become significantly unsound for those inhabiting
Talking
it.
too slow, old man. Spit it out.
Oh my god, and I thought he's talked slow before.
Stanfield, we owe you an island vacation for this. Thank you.
Fair enough. Fair warning. Do not consume any other caffeine or stimulants until this has worn off. You will die.
Yeah. We'll die in many ways. Okay.
Bye, Stanfield. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Stanfield.
Rowan. I feel like Rowan thinks he'd be like, bye, Stanfield. It's like, bye, Stanfield! Let's go!
My heart's pounding out of my chest. Bye, Stanfield.
We'll just sprint through a teleport hole.
Open the portal for Stanfield, and then Rowan will explain very quickly to everyone in the room, but very normally to Walter, the island, the coordinates, everything. But she's going to put it in Willow's house.
Piece of paper.
Okay.
Okay, so we're heading to Willow's house.
On the island.
I don't know what that means. Let's hope that works.
Okay.
She very specifically explains everything to Walter so he can't fuck it up.
Before you go to teleport, Walter, Corey goes, before you leave, can you open a passage for me back to the Twilight Royale?
Absolutely.
We're not an Uber.
That'll be
Walter is.
$35.50 in gold, please.
You do that. She's like, listen, Chuckles, you cheated and got your god powers early. I need to gather up Reynard and Isengrim. She says, well, you finish your thing. I need to get them, and we need to figure something out, because even after Oz and Walter link up with Mog and Maka, and they pass their powers, you're going to need Torian before this is all over.
Ugh.
And right now, he's
Out of commission?
wherever he went.
He's wherever he went. Great.
She goes,
Sounds like Torian.
with Zalzaveth passing, he's given up. And he held the rest of us together for these last 10,000 years. I need to go and try and slap some sense into him. Because you're gonna need him before this is over. He's got a piece of that power that he needs to give you.
I wish you good luck.
She sort of salutes and boop, hops through the portal. She goes, blue sky, do we can too, and she jumps into the portal. She goes, that'll be, your kids are gonna love that in 150 generations.
Great.
And she jumps to the portal. Alright, so you guys are going to teleport specifically to Willow's house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Roman would give Walter the coordinates of the island and then describe where the house is on the island. Give him as much detail as she can and just say to the front door. if you can, because I don't know what's inside and I don't know who's around, and we need to check because we told Willow to hide, and I also don't know who will be there protecting Willow or if they're even there anymore.
Okay, so you're
that's how I know
having
how to
him
go.
try and open the portal like outside the front door of the house.
Yeah, because actually no, we'll put it into like the where Rowan has been in like the study.
Okay.
The study.
Very good. So Walter, you gotta open the portal.
5 coked out adventurers are going to pop out of a study where they weren't,
Oh,
where definitely weren't people.
So before you do that, before the popping into the study, you open the portal. Everybody make a perception check.
No.
I mean, you can avoid using not if you don't want to.
No.
You can if you look at stuff.
5.
5.
2 5s.
30-30.
Christ.
Jesus
Fuck
Christ.
you.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
Look, I rolled a natural 20, man. What the fuck?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, dirty 20, and a 30. Okay. So Walter, you're focusing on the portal. Brom, you're doing whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
You guys who rolled well enough, Rowan, since you're the only one who's been in this house before, you notice, you're the only one who noticed that this is not as it should, or as you were expecting it to be. What you guys see is that you see that there is, the portal opens to a room that seems to have, like freshly varnished floors. A like rug is laid on the floor. There is an old worn desk that looks as if it's apparently been like cleaned and polished, and the sort of orange wavering quality of the light in the room tells you that there is like a fire in the hearth. So Rowan, you know that like this room has been like renovated since you were here.
Yeah.
The rest of you see that like this room clearly looks like it is not, in an abandoned house, as Rowan explained it. And since there was 2 dirty 20s and a 30, I think the next thing that happens is that like you hear from like outside of the visual of like what you can see through the portal, you hear like whoa, and then like. And you see, like, an elven guy, like, leans around the portal from, somewhere off to the side. Instantaneously, you see that he is wearing, the uniform of, like, the Ignean Imperial, Armada. And he's like, "Whoa!"
Close it.
Alar
Drag him
in
in.
Oh.
You to drag him?
Drag him in. Just yeet him through the thing.
Is he like?
Yeah,
close enough
Alar's
to
going
pull
to
him
literally
in?
just grab him, and he's going to try and pull him.
You,
Oz, help!
yeah, you can try and pull him in.
I'll
You guys
pull.
can make attack rolls, against him.
I guess he
Okay.
pops over and like Walter's like grab him, and everybody just kind of like
Get him!
Get him!
14. I rolled
Okay.
low.
So he like
19.
woo!
19.
Squibbled it. You got a 19. What did you get, Oz?
17.
Okay, so the 19 and the 17, you guys like Alar like lunges through and he like dodges out of the way, but then he's like off-footed as Oz, you get like you just like clamp a vice-like grip around one of his arms, and then he goes to like pull away, but it's like he just can't move you. And then he's sort of pinned, and so that Rowan basically is able to then just like jump on him.
as soon as we pull him through, as soon as they pull him through, I'll close the portal.
I just like how we're all just get him, grab him.
Get him! Rip is sticking twisted!
You do this. What the hell what did I say her name was? Keely Duskbane. She's like,
Sure.
"This is a medical ward. What are you doing?
I was trying
take
to
him
leave, it went
outside.
bad.
There are sick people here."
He's ignorant, it doesn't matter!
That'll help us later. We need to keep him alive for this.
Rowan has
Rowan,
Get out of here
Scott.
with this!
Rowan has her blade to his throat and is frog marching this man out with Oz out of the medical ward.
He looks
I will
very
then pin him to the
confused.
wall.
We've seen the future.
Put your
just in this man.
We're from the future.
Rowan, who is it? Who is this guy?
I'm getting there. We get to the hallway, and I'll pin him to the wall with my blade to his throat. And I just look at him and go, "What are you doing in that house?"
He's like, where am I?
I would probably answer.
You
it,
are
man.
surrounded by enemies. Answer
up.
your question so you can live.
Rowan presses the blade just a little tighter.
He's like, what?
Look, man.
What are you doing in that house?
Make an intimidation check.
That's a 27.
Okay. He says, he says, occupying it, as we were told to do.
By who?
He says, by our superior officers. Do you not know how the military works?
I know how the military works. I'm part of one, you idiot.
Hey, you know how we do things up in wherever I'm from? I'm gonna open a portal to the Shadow Zone and be like, march him in there right now if he doesn't answer any more questions.
Oh my God.
Shut it down,
Shadow
Walter. We don't need
Zone.
anything coming through.
Alright, I'll close
Walter.
it.
No, not yet.
I know who used to live in that house, and you are not her. Where is she? And who else lives with you?
You see a look on his face, like he's definitely like taking your threats seriously. So he's not necessarily trying to be defiant, but you can kind of tell that he doesn't really know how to answer the questions you're asking him. You say she,
Yeah.
like all he says. So he kind of he looks at you for a while and he says, are you people somehow involved with the attacks that we have been suffering?
Not your concern right now, sir.
He looks at you and he says, fine. They train us how to deal with witless interrogators like you. I will say nothing more and kill me if you must.
Well, one-way trip to High Envaria, buddy. And I'll just open the portal again.
Okay.
I look at the group.
No, what was it? No, not High Envaria. What is the name of the Nassim Silverleaf's capital?
Hi, Varia.
Okay, yeah. One-way trip to High Envaria.
Your Imperial army is in disarray and is running back for Shivas Symphoria as we speak. The dwarves, the Yodor Mountains, are bringing one of them to the border. Your empire stands on the verge of collapse. You have a lot more problems than you know. How many people are garrisoned in that mansion?
I would be more than happy to die a loyal subject of my empire than give in to the type of people who conduct themselves the way that you are doing right now. I will tell you nothing.
Hey, before
I'm
anybody,
going-
hey,
Nope,
before
good.
anybody does anything,
Oz.
I'm just gonna say real quick. got a fair point. I'm not saying that we're doing anything wrong.
I agree.
What you gotta say?
Walter closed.
What he's saying is fair.
All right.
Rowan
Walter?
It's close.
Rowan just ties his hands and covers his mouth and thinks for a minute and then just goes, all right. I'm gonna call a friend for the answer directly then. She pulls out a sending scroll and will call Una.
Okay. What are you sending to
And
Una?
just
Alar is going to lead the prisoner a bit
Sure.
off, so Rowan has a.
Oh, Rowan was gonna walk away. It's fine. Either way. He's away while I talk. Where are you? Is Willow okay? I need to come back. Can I do it safely? Tell me where.
Okay. After a moment, you get back. I'm still running me tavern. I'm in the Iron Pony. The Ignians are garrisoning the island. Posted up in the old house. She's gone to ground.
Okay. The house is definitely like their base, so can't go in
is.
there. I didn't think they could renovate it that quickly. I was hoping that the pure lack of curb appeal would have kept them out, but I guess not. So we can put this man in jail. We can put this man in jail.
You can send
And
to
then-
Shavas and Varia. Just
As
push him
Oz
through-
said, he does have a point that we popped into where he's essentially living, grabbed him through a portal, held a knife to his throat, and then demanded answers when he doesn't know who we are, what we're doing, or what's happening. So I am fine with putting a Ignian in jail for crimes committed on an island where the protectors of said island had to abandon it in order to protect it, because it would have turned into a bloody massacre.
Can't take him back to Shavas and Varia yet. They would have means of contacting the occupying forces there.
We will just put him in jail here.
Okay. Whatever you would like to do.
They can handle him here.
Do we have an alternate place that we can teleport in?
Una says her tavern is still hers, but that they are all over the island. So we can either...
Do you know of any shady spots on the island that we might be able to port in?
If they've gone into that house, there's literally...
Or
I've never
You know?
been into the space below. I couldn't tell Walter anything about it to get us there directly.
we say, hey, we put you back where you be. Let bygones be bygones. And then that's it. We move on our way.
Oz, we need to get to that island, and we can't let them know we're coming. That's why I had you grab him out of there.
We're not going to harm him.
Just jail.
He'll be released. Or we fail and then
It's
it doesn't
it's
matter.
fine. It's not fine, but it's fine. Oz, you're right. But Walter's also right that they can't know that we're coming. If we're right that these caves are where we have to go because we can't go to the Star Spire and get in a fight there to who can hit the button faster, this is the only place I can think of that might make sense. If I'm wrong, we can try the Star Spire. But we need those caves.
Alright. Do you have another sending scroll? Ask Una
I
to...
have bugged Terra Libra for so many of those shits. I'm
Yeah,
assuming I'm running
presume
out
you just
soon.
have an infinite amount of sendings if you need to use them.
ask her for a safe place to
If there is one.
teleport in.
I'm gonna ask her, and then if she's not sure, I'll see if I can get Willow. Don't know how that's gonna go either. Poor kid. Anyway, Una Do you have anywhere that we can come in a time that we can arrive safely? We can teleport. Just need a place.
You get back from her after a minute. The Iron Pony. The room where you met with the captains. It's secure.
Okay. I will. I trust Una. I'll tell Walter that that's where we gotta go.
All right, so we'll put this guy in jail here in Lyra.
Hand him off to somebody and say
Yes,
sorry
if he
for the
acts-
trouble.
If he acts up, they can always send to the Shadow Realm anyway. So.
Yeah.
All right. Does actually, you know what? Before we go, does Lyra have like a holding dungeon?
Yeah. It's a big ass
I'm
fortress.
gonna. It's a big ass fortress. So I'm going to.
It's got a big ass
make-
fortress. The Dawn Fort is
Okay.
here.
Sure. So I'm going to request, like, Walter's going to go, like, look at them real fast before we go, and just, like, walk through them so he knows where they're at,
Okay.
and request that they keep, like, several of them heavy barred and locked, because we might be sending more soldiers.
So you can just drop soldiers then.
So we might be able to portal soldiers, just
Shove
shove
them
them,
in the portal.
shove directly into
Directly
jail.
You get
Matt regrets this
you
double.
get you get the Grand Marshal gets involved at that point, and you like have to work out the logistics of it. And he's like, it is highly unusual that we would involve ourselves in matters such as this, but I suppose we can make those arrangements. He
Grand
says,
Marshal, I am.
he says, a stipulation. I am going to assign members of the Order to guard these prisoners you may or may not be sending in. That one, the one you've like already brought, he says, has already seen too much. We'll put him in a different cell. I'll arrange for an area that any more that you might send, so that they don't communicate. I'm going to put my guards in nondescript equipment. I would prefer to avoid exacerbating political problems when this is all said and done, with whatever remains of the Empire. I would prefer not to have any prisoners you send know that the Order of the Radiant Dawn is now taking political captives.
The only other place I could send them would be guaranteeing their deaths. I apologize. This is the most humane way I can deal with this.
He says I don't argue with your methods. I see the logic in this. I just want to ensure that anybody that you might be about to kick through a portal into our dungeon, don't be like, have fun in Lyra, those paladins are gonna beat you up in jail, buddy. Like, don't tell them where you're sending them.
No, they will.
This is a except for that guy. Do I have that spell?
Actually, I still have the Mind Mugger meds. He gets to make a wisdom save.
What are you doing?
He gets a 15.
17 is the mark, so he forgets the last 5 minutes,
Okay.
and Alar slugs him to knock him out.
Okay.
Hooray! You got to use your magic item.
You got to use your magic item.
2.5 years ago.
So you slap a hand on his forehead. He goes like, and he's like, what is happening? Where? And then he gets punched in the face.
Look, a bird! Just come with a fist.
Yes, have anybody who gives him food, not wear anything that identifies them with the
No, it's
order. With any luck, he will be released within a week, and he'll be teleported back to a Ignean safe spot.
That was a good arm.
Fair enough.
Nice arm.
All
right.
God damn! How do you guys do that so easy?
Rowan pats Alar.
It's all in the
For a
shoulder,
couple-
really.
couple lay on hands. Just to fix him up.
It comes
That's
from
fine,
the
just-
shoulder. It's not from the wrist.
I went a little too high. I caught him high on the chin. Should have gone for the softer spot.
Yeah, it's still good.
So to the Iron Pony.
Osrius is like, don't tuck your thumb.
Don't tuck your thumb.
I didn't tuck the thumb. I just skinned my knuckle a little
Thumbs
bit.
out. Pinky.
Alrighty.
What?
God, can you imagine trying to punch somebody with your pinky out? And you just
Oh.
Can't even make a fist like that.
That's where that's goes into the eye socket. That's where that
Oh
goes.
God!
No,
Where?
no.
Yes, Curtis. Yes.
That's like
Oh, there's Rowan's bloodthirstiness.
there you go.
Oh,
Okay, so you guys are teleporting to the Iron Pony.
Iron Pony.
You open a portal. You find that you are in a rustic upstairs room of a tavern. As you guys step through it and close the portal behind you, standing before you, new to the rest of you guys but familiar Rowan to you, is Una Murderbeard, who is an elven woman. Appears to be in her like late 20s. She has sort of you're not sure if it's like her natural color or if it's been artificially or magically changed. She has like a shock of like blue hair, which is currently like tied back
I don't know if anybody's gonna be able to see that.
in a knot at the back of her head. As you
I'm more
guys,
focused.
there you go. As you guys come through, she looks at the group of you and she addresses you, Rowan. She says, "Well, that's an interesting entrance to have made there. So, who are your friends?"
Una may introduce Alar, Brom, Oz, and Walter.
Aylar kind of
Rowan grabs her necklace and just checks really quick on Captain and everybody. Everyone's still...
he just kind of weighs because I was thinking,
Rowan's
oh no, she's hot.
And then Rowan just goes, "Your father's fine. He
She-
went after."
She says, "Oh, I'm aware."
Oh. Stories for later.
She goes. In fact, after we figure out whatever's happening here, I think I have a messenger sparrow to send off.
Oops. Cool.
She says,
Rowan just
so
TLDRs Una on like, we're trying to fix the hell that's happening. I need to get to the caves underneath the house. I skipped the part about the guy we pulled through the port. I'm not trying to incriminate her involved for anything she doesn't need to know.
So
And
you let her in
I
all
need-
information. She goes, right. So here's how things have been since you left. After all the pirates hightailed it out of here, the civilian denizens of the island stayed behind and generally tried not to make a ruckus when the Ignians showed up. They came in, asked a few questions, roughed some people up, that sort of thing. But by and large, they didn't seem all that interested in any of the fled pirate captains. They were generally more than happy to just sort of take over, and as long as nobody gave them trouble, they more or less left everyone well enough alone. The sort of thing that's always going to be common when an occupying military force takes over. The occasional soldier getting a little rowdy in my tap room, and I can't bring out the old noggin clocker like I would for a drunk townsperson. But other than that, we've been largely making do. However, things have changed a little bit in the last, 10 day or so. The Ignians set up their base of operations in Willow's house. when they first landed. They've cleaned up the place a little bit, tried to put it back together, and generally they've been sending search parties here, there, and everywhere around the island looking for something. About 10 days ago, something started hassling the Ignians garrisoned on the island. Rumors are that some sort of demon has been stalking them. We overheard one of the patrolmen when he came in say that some sort of demon and that walked like a man, but also had the ability to become a bloody great beast of some sort, were killing their men in the woods. About a night or so ago, they're being real hush-hush about it, but we're all fairly certain that whatever it is that's been terrorizing them attacked the house itself. There were quite a ruckus in the middle of the night. Inside the house, we heard all sorts of commotion going on from there, and then it just sort of stopped. The Ignian patrols have been withdrawn back, and they are all holed up in that house of theirs since then. So I don't know exactly what happened, but it's got them spooked real bad, and they're all gathered up, however many of them may or may not be left after whatever happened. They're garrisoned in Willow's house. She says, as far as I know, when they showed up, Willow bolted down deep beneath into wherever it is that she goes, and not hide nor hair of her has been seen or heard from since. I have every reason to believe that wherever she's squirreled herself off to, she's safe, but I've not been able to make any type of contact with her.
Well, now we know where Reynard and Isengrim were.
Who's that now?
That is a very long story. One that I'm not sure we have time for.
She says, no, by the sounds
Your
of it...
impression is they're my dad's.
Sure, fair enough. She says, so, if what you're telling me is true, wherever it is that Willow goes contains one of these things that can send you where you need to go.
That's the theory. I have a question, Una, because you know her best, and I was trying to not involve you or her directly, but then when we saw that the house was upgraded, plan changed. If I send a message to Willow, will it frighten her? Will it disturb her with her predisposition to things? I just don't want to scare her more than is necessary.
I'd say that's a gamble. I wouldn't give you better than 50-50 odds. She's an odd one. It's hard to say how she'd react. Sometimes she surprises you. She's got a knack for knowing things you wouldn't expect her to, reacting quite unflappably to strange things, but other times the littlest thing seems to set her off running. I can't give you a good answer. I don't know what would happen if you try to contact her magically.
I've never been where she goes. All I knew was that it was somehow connected to the house, which is why that's where we tried to go, and I don't know of any other entrance or possibility on this island except for the house.
I would assume that if everything you've told me is true, that's also why the Ignians are posted up there.
Yep.
You have a rough idea of how many Ignians before the attack started were posted?
She says originally there were 30 or so on the island here. More on their ships, but they shouldn't be a concern immediately. I know for sure that at least 5 were either killed or maimed badly enough over the last 10 days during these attacks on and around the island. As for whatever went down in the building, I've got no way to know. Not a one of them has come down from the hill up there since it happened. So she says, you know, you could be at most there's 25 of them up there. She says, I'd wager it's probably less, but I don't know by how many.
I look at the group. What do you want to do? I can message a girl and potentially disrupt her mind further, or we can try to
We
just
need
go into the house.
We need intelligence.
I cast disguise self as the guy we abducted.
You're not doing fast walk or clipboard.
That's not going to work.
Not here.
She goes. My father has a similar stick to fast walk clipboard. He's got a different name for it though. It's sidestep surprise cannonball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Sounds.
I mean, look, it's just at this point we just go up to the house, and knock on the door, and I don't know, see if they want to buy cookies or something. I don't know. We just need to get into that house.
Mine is
This-
oops, there's your organs.
This Willow person might, if
She's I think the only one who knows how to get down to where we need to be.
she might know another approach that we can take that would have us avoid the garrison entirely. I think we may have to risk it.
Rolling a d20 on whether I want to risk Willow's mental health. Apparently I am.
Okay.
Oh god. I'm so scared that it's gonna break her. Okay. Rowan sends a message. After looking at Una like, don't kill me if this goes badly, I'm sorry, we're trying to save the world. And then messages Willow. Willow? I hope you're okay. I need to get to the caves. Can you tell me the secret way to get there that isn't in the house? I have presents.
Okay. You get a response, and you hear the voice of the young girl that you know as Willow, and she responds back, and she says, "Oh, I thought you might be coming soon." She says, "I have to let you in through the upstairs room." Alright, so that's 10. Alright, so she's got like 5 more words. She says, okay, I think she just says like, "Come to me." I think that's it.
Rowan relays that and says, well, she says that's the way we have to go, and
You want to try to pour it into the upstairs room from here or from outside?
I think it'd be the same result as the guy that we pulled through a portal. But if that's where we have to go, and Will needs us to come to her.
Have you been to the upstairs room? Can you describe it adequately that like we can get? I mean, always go back to
I
the same
don't
room.
know if Rowan has been
No.
in that room.
That was where Captain went and Una.
So
Oh,
Una,
wait,
Una's been there. So Una
Okay.
goes. Are you intending to try and slip in there without dealing with any Ignians that are holed up in that building?
Walter will, in demonstration, open a portal real fast to like one of the dungeons, and just be like,
We would
we're
prefer.
trying to be quiet, and we're trying not to kill anybody right now. And then it'll close the portal.
Okay, then I had an idea, but it was not conducive towards that approach.
You are your father's daughter.
I am. I've also been
Pissed.
having to give free drinks to an occupying army for the last several months.
Rowan just pulls out her
Walter's just like, oh well, look, we're just trying not to cause trouble, but if you want to cause trouble, I don't care.
I don't want to.
She's like, I don't want to impose my moral compass on any of you, but as far as I'm concerned, if we were to string all of them Ignians up and trebuchet them back onto their ships and then light their ships on fire and sink them, that'd be just fine by me.
Did I see? Can I see their ships from the window?
Yeah, probably.
I look at the group.
Walter goes over to the window and looks, and he's like, I can portal it that way too.
Just put them on their ship. Cause a delay at least.
You want to organize a little ship burning? I'll send people over to the ship. I have no qualms with that.
that would divert attention, and that means they wouldn't have anybody that's in the house wouldn't.
Cause a
It
lot
would
of
be too
confusion.
busy to. They wouldn't be getting any reinforcements, at least not for a while.
I
It
don't
puts
want
you
to
at
think
risk,
of it
though,
out as
Miss Murderbeard.
She says, if you need to get into that house, and you're ready to kick off some trouble to do it, long as that don't stop your plans, don't you worry about me or the folks on Glasgow.
As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't hurt us.
She goes, then I think I can help. She says, as for how to get to the house, have any of you ever heard of the Navirian horse?
I'm rolling a history check.
Sure.
Yeah.
presume.
Can I roll a history
The
check?
Navarian horse.
The Navirian horse.
The
That would be
Navarian
a 16 on
A
a
natural
Nigerian-
20 plus 1.
Sure. So the Navirian
Yeah.
horse is the Trojan horse, but Naviria.
In the very, yeah.
Alar just
It's like-
his eyes flick up
it's
for a moment.
like-
He looks back down at Una.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
She goes-
what's your variation?
She goes, my variation is there's a bunch of soldiers what been barricaded themselves up there for a time now, with whatever limited provisions they had, and I got a big wagon.
And no more.
Yeah.
Alar is going to reach into the bag and pull out a set of Ignian armor.
She goes,
Guess
she
I'm-
looks at the armor. She's like, I suppose you could do it that way. I just sort of figured I'd roll you up to the front door in the wagon, and then when they open the door, you'd all jump out and start stabbing. But that's fine.
That works too.
Says,
This allows you to kick off whatever it is that you were going to do.
She says, yes. She says, how much of a time crunch are you on? Can you wait till tonight?
I would like.
Well,
this
you
over
see,
with.
we had some coffee.
She says, just after sundown is all I'm thinking.
How many
What
hours?
time of day is this?
Probably midday. So she's asking you to wait for like maybe 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah, we can do that.
She says darkness would be better.
I'm okay to wait.
I mean, what are the odds that in that 5 or 6 hours we wait that they get into the Star Spire and beat us?
They've
to the
had
punch?
everything for months and they haven't figured it out yet.
Fair.
Or not months.
They haven't been able to Google it.
They've had most things.
A handful of days now.
A handful of days.
She goes. It's the only reason I ask is it'll take me till about then to round up my part of this.
Sure.
Make your preparations. I will cut the horse free from the wagon to make sure it's not harmed when
She nods. She goes,
fighting kicked off.
oh, good. This ought to be. Oh, go ahead.
If she needs a few hours, may I make a quick stop to Mr. Morhaime to maybe broker another deal on our behalf? I'm a little tweaked right now. I'd like to remind him of his bargain in the most convenient way for us possible.
So Walter just portals off while we're all just
So
chilling.
Walter's asking permission to portal off while everybody else is preparing because he's too fidgety to not think about this.
I mean, Alar has no objections. He's going to ask Una Murderbeard. If you need a rallying cry for Thorn,
she's pulling a what you see is a sending stone out of like her like coat as you guys are discussing this, and she goes I'll arrange that part. Don't worry about it too much. She says, you make your preparations and I'll get things started on mine.
Do you need anything fun?
Maybe. What you got?
Do I know of any? Do you have room for explosives?
there's always room for explosives.
she's like, I was just about to say that.
I'll be right back. And then Walter's gonna portal off to Moxham.
Okay, so Walter portal off. She goes, alright, weird guy, but I'll start making my arrangements, and then we'll kick this pig when the sun goes down. And she takes her sending stone, and she goes, hey Dad, we've got a plan. And that is where we will end our session for tonight.
He lives!
He lives! You don't know that. Could be Lich Murderbeard.
Fine.
Maybe.
Okay. We'll tell him where the Lich Dragon is and the shitload of treasure.
There you go. Alright. That's the end of our session tonight. We'll be here next week. Same time, same channel. And then I believe the week after that we're off because I will be out of town. But we should be here next week for the exciting conclusion of this piratey adventure.
No, I think it's this week we're off. This coming week we're off, and then the next.
What's the day? The date?
Are we off 2 weeks? I'm here next week.
Okay.
I am likely to be out next week.
I am out next week, unfortunately.
2 weeks.
So, sorry.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
We have the opportunity for
Only think I'm so long.
a like flash sideways to other goings on. So we theoretically could have next week's session could be like a different set of characters for the week.
There is a 5-hour preparation period, so
we'll address that. I think in all likelihood we should be on next Tuesday, but then next the 26th we will be off. But
All right.
be that as it may, that was our show for the night. Thank you to our sponsors, Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle, who I for sure forgot to mention at the beginning of the stream.
Technology was against you. It was fine.
I didn't drink my coffee out of my brother mug. Now I have, so I remembered them now. So thank you to those sponsors. Thank you to Probo. As always, be sure to follow, subscribe, find us on all the platforms, do all the things. You know how it works. That's our show. See you next time. Bye.